Hey, welcome to the Sunday preview for this sixth Sunday in the Easter season, which means that next week we have Ascension Thursday coming up, and so naturally the Gospel starts to talk about the Holy Spirit, and we should be preparing ourselves for the Holy Spirit coming on Pentecost, which is 10 days after Ascension Thursday. So our reading is from the Last Supper, the Gospel of John, and it says, Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever loves me will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our dwelling with him. Whoever does not love me does not keep my word. Yet the word you hear is not mine, but that of the Father who sent me. I have told you this while I am with you. The Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and remind you of all I have told you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give it to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled or afraid. You heard me tell you, I am going away, and I will come back to you. If you loved me, you would rejoice that I am going to the Father, for the Father is greater than I. And I have told you this before it happens, so that when it happens, you may believe." The Gospel of the Lord. Well, there's a lead into this Gospel with the first reading from the Acts of the Apostles, which is all about this big problem in the early church, and it was over circumcision. And there was a big disagreement among the followers of Jesus about whether somebody had to be circumcised and become a Jew first before he converted to Christianity. And it was about much more than just circumcision. It really meant does one have to adopt all the Jewish practices and ways? And ultimately it was about whether Christianity was something new and distinct from Judaism, or was it just a branch of Judaism? And that's really what was at stake. Well, in that first reading, it says they prayed to the Holy Spirit. The apostles gathered and they listened to the people, and they listened to Paul and Barnabas and their experience with the Gentiles, that the Holy Spirit had come upon the Gentiles who were Christians who had not been circumcised. And then they made a decision. And they sent back word to those churches that had been causing some trouble, that it says, "It is the decision of the Holy Spirit and of us that we should not burden these people with those Jewish rules." The decision of the Holy Spirit and of us. And that was obviously a church that was letting itself be guided by the Holy Spirit. And Jesus says at the Last Supper in the Gospel that the Holy Spirit will come, he'll be sent by the Father, and he will teach us the meaning of everything he said and did. And I think we forget the Holy Spirit too often, especially the role that he plays in forming our consciences, in really helping us discern what the right course of action is in our lives. And so often we just go blundering ahead in our lives and making decisions, and they're probably shaped more by the people around us and public opinion than our decisions are shaped by really consulting the Holy Spirit. If we would allow the Holy Spirit to shine light on our conscience, I bet you we'd make much more prudent and godly decisions. And so let's start working on our devotion to the Holy Spirit in these days we have before Pentecost, coming up in just 2 weeks. Allow the Holy Spirit into our lives to really search our hearts and inform our consciences. And then we know that we'll have the Spirit of the Lord in us.